So Origin sent me this giant box that weighs 20 pounds to unbox and show you guys their new line of products that just dropped, which totals about this much worth of gear. Because I'm a huge fan of all their hunting gear. I've used it on 5 or 6 hunts over the last couple of years. And I really like it because Origin does 3 things that are super unique to Origin. One, they use a lot of old school materials and traditional materials for certain properties that you can't get from modern synthetic materials. But they also use synthetic materials in places where old school traditional like wool and everything falls a little bit short, where these synthetic materials excel. So they do a good job of combining old world with new world and the best attributes of both to create really unique products. Number 2 is this business is owned by some very unique dudes. They're all jacked, they're all high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners. And if you don't know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like this concept, if I'm gonna super generalize this thing, of being able to go anywhere at any time, the versatility of being able to protect yourself in any situation. That's kind of part of the ethos of Jiu-Jitsu as far as I understand. These guys started off making gis, was one of their very first products in 2012. 11 years later, now they have this whole line of hunting gear, of gis, of just casual gear, and now they have all this new stuff. And it's all put through that same lens of the versatility and then the athleticism that's needed through Jiu-Jitsu. And so I really like that aspect of this brand. Then number 3, Pete, the founder, is a man obsessed with bringing production back to the United States, onshoring as much as possible, getting as many raw materials, supplies, and labor from the United States to make all these products. And the vast majority of their gear is built here in the United States, made from materials from the United States, which very few brands can actually claim, because the bar for claiming, this is from Origin's website, the bar for claiming to be made in America is set low. Under the Berry Amendment, cheap materials and components can be sourced from other countries, but so long as the end product is assembled here, it's technically made in the US. I don't think they're at 100% of everything in the United States or sourced from the United States, but there's very few exceptions. The vast majority of their stuff is made in the US. I'm on both sides of it. I don't think it's bad to claim made in the United States if you're importing stuff, but Origin can actually claim it to the fullest extent that we've ever seen, which is really cool. So now that you know Origin and a little bit of their history, and we'll go over a lot more of their history in the cut in half video we're doing of one of their boots in a couple weeks. But let's start unboxing this and start going through these new products, because I actually haven't seen any of them. I know what they are because they're mirrored in their camouflage that I've worn, and so I'll be able to speak on them and the materials and how they perform, because I already have them in camo and I've used them pretty extensively. Let's start with the field pants, because these are the ones I've had some experience in. The thing that always surprises me about these pants is how light they are. They're nylon, they're 99% nylon, 1% elastic, so you get a little bit of stretch. The fabric weight is 7.2 ounces is the fabric weight. They retail for $148, and the way that these are set up are pretty unique, because they're actually different from my pants that I go hunting with, because my pants don't have these little cargo pockets. They're not even cargo pockets, they're like high thigh pockets. I actually don't remember if these are on my camo versions of these or not, is they have these little knee pockets. So instead of needing the fabric to bend and pucker to give you a little bit of extra room when you bend down, they've made a little gusset in here to allow that fabric to expand without making your pants super tight or bunching up. When you sit down, it pulls on your crotch and it's uncomfortable. They have one butt pocket. Some of us need as much butt bulk as we can get, so at least there's one butt pocket. And then as for how they fit, we'll just put some footage in the background of how they fit me. My hunting pair of their Nyloc nylon pants, they're a little bit short, you know, but my waist is like a 31, my inseam is like 36. And so I'm built like Jack Skellington. So like a lot of these pants, they just don't fit me. I've always struggled with finding pants, so take that with a grain of salt. So what are these for? Well, like I said, I hunt in these pants, and the thing that I really like about them is I'm not careful with them. I beat these things up. I run them through the scrub oak that's grabbing all the pants and trying to snag them, and I haven't had any rips, you know, and it's not just like, we're not just hunting on trails, we're like really beating out through the bush, and so they've seen a lot of the worst thing you can do to a thin pant, which is like scrub oak and trees and everything, just trying to grab it, and rough rocks, sitting on rocks, really beating them up, and they've held up really well. And they really are super light. You know, you look at this package of these two tan with the field pants that are nylon compared to the next pants we're gonna unbox, which is the VRSA polyester pants. You can see how much lighter they are and how much thinner they are, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. So nice lightweight summer pant. You can wear them anywhere. They're like kind of like just wearing pajamas around, if I'm being honest. So then next to the other pants, the VRSA pants. This fabric is weird. It actually does feel like pajama pants, and it is super stretchy. And I'm not really into like tech wear pants or like tactical stuff or, you know, this type of gear. So I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I have never felt pants like this. That is crazy. So what are they? Well, the material is 93% polyester, 7% elastic. It's got a 4-way stretch pattern to it. So that's why, you know, you can see here in the back, I can start with my thumbs maybe an inch apart and stretch it to like 1.5 inches. So it's got a lot of stretch in every direction. The fabric is heavier. The fabric weight is 9.3 ounces compared to the 7 ounces of the nylon. And these VRSA pants retail for $148. And it has a similar pocket setup. You know, you don't have the knee gusset, but you do have like a knee pucker. I don't know what you call it. People that are into pants will know better than me. But you have like normal butt pockets, which helps us small butts out. Then you also have a little cargo zip pocket on the side there that I like. I like having little pockets everywhere. It's surprising how versatile having a billion pockets actually is. But these are just gonna be comfortable. You know, comparing them to, especially like wearing like Carhartts and like all the raw denim and all those pants compared to this, worlds apart. And so once again, it's all about the versatility, the comfort, and being able to move and be athletic in your clothing without being constricted by it. And these pants seem to reflect that really well. So what would these even be used for? Well, it's just like the field pants, but way stretchier. And they're probably gonna be a little bit warmer. They're gonna be a little bit more substantial. And I think they're a little more casual. I don't think the polyester is gonna hold up nearly as well as a nylon. I think nylon's more abrasion resistant than polyester, but nylon's not gonna be as comfortable as polyester. So you kind of have the VRSA pants are exactly what they are. Like, they're supposed to be really versatile, wear them anywhere. They feel like pajamas. And then the nylon ones are more your lightweight, tactical style pants. But both are still gonna be way more stretchy and everything than regular jeans, which really makes me interested in these that I didn't even know I was getting. So this is their denim. And if I remember right, it's really stretchy too. It's not nearly as stretchy as the VRSA pants. And so these guys that have big old jacked legs, or you know, these guys' biceps are the size of my thighs. And so they need these stretchy pants because they got such big legs. For me, they're just gonna be all about comfort. But for you guys that are like actually built and have big old manly legs, you're not gonna get that same pinching at your crotch. You're not gonna have as much tightness. It's gonna flow a lot better. Okay, so these are their Delta Flex jeans. Okay, it comes in 2 cuts. It comes in straight and tapered. I don't know what these ones are. These are straight. And so let's look up the fabric weight. They retail for $128. The fabric weight on these are 8.5 ounces. The blend of the fabric is 86% cotton, 12% polyester, and 2% elastic. That's where you get that stretch from. And they retail for $128. So once again, it's like if you take a pair of jeans and you were putting it through the lens of what Origin does, that's exactly what these are. Okay, next is the Stow jacket. So let's open this up. And Stow jackets are something I never really knew about or got into, literally until I got this one from Nomadic, this Utah company. And since then, I've been completely obsessed with this concept of a Stow jacket. This Origin Stow jacket is a lightweight jacket that also doubles as a windbreaker. It's water resistant because it's DWR treated, so it's not waterproof, it's just water resistant, the water beads up on it. The fabric weight is super light at 2.7 ounces. It retails for $177, and the pocket setup is pretty unique. You know, you've got your typical little side pockets on, what am I doing? Just put it on. So we got your little chest pocket right here, which, if you don't know, when you're traveling, this little chest pocket in these Stow jackets is so handy because when you're a big guy like me and you're sitting on an airplane and you're trying to get like your AirPods out or your cell phone out or anything, and you're trying to reach in these pockets or your pants pockets or your bag underneath, it's a huge pain because you only have 18 inches of movement, and the people on the side of you, or you're stuck on the wall or on the aisle. And so having this little chest pocket is so stinking handy. You just keep your most essential stuff in there. Even when you're going through the airport or traveling, riding in cars, motorcycles, whatever it happens to be, having that little chest pocket right here is so handy. I did not think I'd use it nearly as much as I have on these Stow jackets. You also got these little side pockets, like a typical like hoodie style setup. You got the little cuffed wrist bands, I don't know what you call them. You got the hood, the little bill on the end. And I like that it has the waterproofing seam overlap, I don't know what it's called, to keep some of the air and, or some of the wind out and some of the water out. And I don't know, it's just nice. I like these little jackets. They're super handy to have. I can't believe I traveled so long without one. And one of the really nice things about this is you can layer it up, you can put stuff over top of it, it doesn't get bulky, you can put stuff underneath of it, and you get the water protection and the wind resistance. It's just a really nice thing to have in your arsenal for hunting, for hiking, for just everyday wear. Next is the stealth wool. So what is this? Well, this is their stealth wool. I have it in camo once again. It's a 50% American merino wool, 50% polyester blend. And the wool has a nice heft to it. You know, you feel that weight of the wool, so it feels nice on you. It keeps you nice and warm. It has these nylon reinforcement patches at the elbows and over the shoulders, and I believe on the inside of the hood, maybe a couple other spots, because with wool it'll pill up really easily and it'll start wearing through. So basically what they do is they throw a patch of their like tactical style pants onto this jacket because it's nylon and it's abrasion resistant, it's really lightweight, it's breathable. So you get all that's kind of like we talked about at the beginning, you combine those natural materials with the synthetics that perform better in certain ways than the naturals perform better than the synthetics, and you get this unique blend of wool and nylon. And the weight of this fabric is, I believe, the heaviest out of the bunch at 10.2 ounces. It retails for $198. The thing I like about Origin is the arms are long. You know, I've got a 6'6" wingspan, and it's so tough to find jackets that actually fit. But you can see this one fits me pretty good. Very nice. You've got this little chest pocket again, a little miniature version that I really like. I'm trying to think of what else. You got this hood. But the real utility of this, besides it being made of cool materials and all this stuff, is wool breathes really well and it regulates your temperature really well, because when you get to like the synthetically insulated jackets, you know, the really puffy ones, to me they're kind of like a one temperature deal. Like you'll be outside and it'll be nice and warm, then you hop in your truck and all of a sudden you're sweating, or you'll get back out and you go into work and you're like, oh, I'm hot, but it's still a little bit cold, so I'm gonna just sit here in this weird zone of like kind of sweating. And that's because it doesn't regulate. It doesn't let a lot of air flow through. It just kind of traps that heat. Wool breathes and keeps you nice and regulated. And being wool, it doesn't lose any of its insulating properties until it's completely drenched. And it doesn't even feel wet until it reaches like 30 to 50% saturation. And so for a versatile jacket, it breathes, it doesn't feel wet, you know, and if it actually starts raining, you throw this over top of it. It's a nice hunting system that really translates well into just everyday life, especially for work. Next to the Nano Wool Healy, I believe it's this shirt. So same type of story. So this is 25% American merino wool, 50% polyester, and 25% tencel. So you got this tri-blend of a shirt, and you can feel the weight of the wool in it. It's a fairly heavy fabric. The actual fabric weight is 6.2 ounces. Retails for $88, and it's almost like a thermal shirt. It is a thermal shirt. I thought it was supposed to have buttons on it. So, looks like they accidentally sent me the Nano Wool Crew LS Solid. It's the same fabric, it's just the wrong shirt. The one they were meant to send me has little buttons in the front. This is basically just like a nice heavyweight long sleeve shirt you can use as a thermal, base layer, as just a regular shirt if you want to stay warm. And then to the final piece of clothing, these Essential Hoodies. So I got a couple in gray and another one in gray. Let's open up the gray one. So this is their Essential Hoodie. It is 50% cotton, 50% polyester. It's double-faced, which I don't actually know what that means. It's pre-shrunk, which I really like because it's actually gonna fit you. It's probably still gonna move and shrink a little bit, but it's not nearly as crazy as some of the really cheap hoodies it's cotton. It's like, oh, this fits perfectly. You throw it in your washer and just any amount of hot water or warm water shrinks it up, and all of a sudden it turns into an unwearable hoodie. The fabric weight is 7.5 ounces. They retail for $69, and there's just a typical hoodie. You know, it doesn't seem like there's anything too crazy about it. So it's gonna be more breathable. There's no wool in this, so it's not gonna be like crazy warm. It's just a nice casual hoodie. See, it fits me pretty well. Nice and long, plenty of length in the arms. Yeah, I don't think there's really any features that you don't get in a regular hoodie. Seems pretty standard patterning for a hoodie. So what is this? Well, it's just a good all-around hoodie. I have one of these in camo, and I mostly just use it as like a camp hoodie or for the traveling aspects of hunting. And I'm not as stressed about about wrecking this or getting it snagged on anything as I am on some of the wool. And it's just a nice lightweight hoodie. There's really nothing else to it. And the last thing to unbox is the updated Origin boot. I got it in a 10.5D. My Bodyloc size is a 10D. And so I went half a size up based off my measuring from last year. So we'll see how they look. So what are the materials? Well, it's a leather boot. It's a chrome tan leather. It's tan to the United States. I don't know who does it. It looks like a Seidel leather. That's who I'd guess. It's a nice pull-up leather. It's got plenty of oil infused into it. You can see the cross-section has plenty of grain. We'll go a lot more detail into the cut in half of this, but it's the Coronado Boot 6-inch big lug. They retail for $330 and obviously made in the United States. The thing that really makes this boot stand out to me is the really unique patterning. In an industry full of boots that look identical, you know, like, not that it's a bad thing. I like the service boots. I like the classic looking of everything, but these are distinct and very different. And you know, the cool thing about it is it's not just for looks, because once again, the whole concept behind this brand, whether it's intentional or unintentional, is all about the versatility, the flexibility, the athletic aspects of your wear. And so this boot reflects that a lot. You know, you don't have these heavy quarter panels dropping all the way down here. You have that single vamp. It's gonna give you a lot more room, a lot more flexibility. The boot's gonna bend a lot more. It's a lot lighter weight construction with that Blake stitch construction. You even get some, I didn't even notice this till right now, you got some screws in the toe to help that adhesion of the outsole to the leather. And as for how it fits, I can pop this on and I'll tell you. Like I said, I'm a 10 on the Bodyloc. These are a 10.5 and they fit me just right. I wouldn't go half a size down. You guys that like your toes squished, you could probably do that, but I think going half a size up from your Bodyloc is gonna be a really safe bet. It's gonna give you plenty of room to actually break them in, and so everything shifts and moves. And allegedly they changed some stuff in this boot since the last time we cut them in half. So when we cut these in half on the channel in a couple weeks, we'll go through all those different differences and what they changed, did it work, why they changed certain stuff, and how much this boot is made in the United States, how many of the materials and components are made in the United States. That's what we're gonna cover in the cut in half in a week or two. And I personally just really like the way that they're bringing back manufacturing to the United States, and not just this pseudo version of like, oh yeah, we make them here, but everything else was done overseas. Since 2012, they've been on the pursuit to onshore as much of this stuff as possible, find the supply chain, find the manufacturers, find the raw materials, find all these things that really don't benefit the product in the long run, but it benefits the United States, it benefits the consumer, it benefits the actual people making these boots. And so because of that, I really like what Origin is doing, and it's hard not to respect them for this insane pursuit of trying to make every single thing that they produce made in the United States from components and raw materials sourced from the United States. It's really cool what they're doing, and so check them out via link in my description, and thanks again to Origin for sending me all this stuff, because I wanna keep doing this and start showing some of the same things we've been doing with the boot world by dissecting and reviewing and trying all these materials, but through the more clothing world. And the only way we can do that is with your guys' support, because without your guys' support and watching these videos and supporting them and supporting the brands that are supporting us, none of this is possible. So thank you guys for all your support. See ya.